The Marauders are a minor league baseball team based in Bradenton, Florida. They're a minor league program for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now get this, the Bradenton Marauders play their home games at McKechnie Field. Your Marauders team has David McKechnie. Anyway, let's forget about all of that. The Hobgood Marauders were perfect thus far on the young season, 3-0. But Sunday's game would not be a gimme. We're going to pick up the action in the bottom of the first. The Marauders already on top 1-0, and Maddox is at the plate. He lines a tough infield single. The shortstop overshoots the first baseman, and number 34 Maddox ends up on second base. The next batter is Harrison. He's earned the nickname Moose. Moose nails one down the first base line. He's going to drive home a run, picking up the RBI. Marauders up 2-0. A solid piece of hitting, putting the team up 2-0. Now let's go to the top of the second inning. Starting pitcher David McKechnie throwing some heat. Man, he is having a fun time on the mound. But sometimes pitches don't always go the way you expect. Here, the pitch is way outside. And while they make it a close play at the plate, the runner is safe. That's okay, though. Marauders still on top, 2-1. Coach Dan comes out to give David some wise counsel. But the next wild pitch is going to allow the runner to score from third. And just like that, we are tied at 2-2. The Marauders need an out. And here, David McKechnie, the pitcher, fields this one. Throws to Anderson at first base, and they get out of the inning. Moments later, the Marauders will find themselves behind on the scoreboard. The wild pitch soars over the catcher, who makes a great move to block the plate. But in the midst of all of that contact, the ball is dropped. The Marauders fall behind at 3-2, but a great defensive play by the catcher. The Marauders get nothing going in the bottom of the second, so now we move on to the third inning. Anderson Carter coming to the mound. He comes in to pitch, and Anderson throwing some heat. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And Anderson not only doing it with his pitching arm, this ball hits straight up. It's like a moonshot. But Anderson Carter comes down with it. I mean, that would be a big play in the inning. In fact, let's check it out again with the often imitated, never duplicated, award-winning Marauders slow-mo cam. Great play by AC. Here's another great play by Carter. With a runner on third, the pitch is high and outside. The catcher makes a cat-like move to get the ball to Carter. He tags the runner. That ends the inning, but not before the Marauders fall behind by 2. The score is now 4-2. Bottom of the third inning, David McKechnie leading off. A solid line drive up the middle. This turns into a solid stand-up double. Next up at the plate is Anderson Carter. The pitch gets by the catcher. David takes off from second base into third. This time the pitcher throws a third strike that the ball still gets by the pitcher, and McKechnie beats the tag at the plate. The Marauders are nailing things down. 4-3 the score now. They're only down by 1. Now after a long at bat, Jackson picks up the walk. Maddox then takes a dive, and Jackson takes the stroll to second base. His aggressive base running putting him in position to score. Maddox at the plate. The tying run is on second. The infield squibber is tough to handle, and Jackson comes around to score. Maddox ends up on second. This puts up the Marauders 5-4. Now watch this. Connor is going to rip a deep shot. I mean, this thing is going halfway to Marietta. No one is going to come up with it. He drives home a run. The other guys are changing pitchers, so Connor forced to simply bide his time at second base after his double. Jacob Palm at the plate. He smacks one, a great hit over the pitcher's head. Nothing they can do about it. Connor stops on third, so now we have runners on the corners with 2 outs. And here you can't see him, but Ephraim Key is at the plate. Palm takes off for second on a wild pitch. Connor also comes home to score. That makes it 6-4. The Marauders now extend their lead. Ephraim Key ends up on base. Now JP getting some coaching expertise from Coach Dan. His first game back after a broken nose. JP would end up with the game ball, showing a lot of courage going out there after a tough injury in the first game of the season. Now that was a huge inning for the Marauders, who came from 2 down to take the lead 7-4. Maddox is now on the mound for the Marauders. Let's see if the lefty can hold their opponents at bay. And here we see Maddox striking out the first batter he faces. Man, he is throwing some heat. Maddox then strikes out the second batter he faces. An opposing runner would reach first base on an error, but aside from that, Maddox with the perfect inning. He gets the top-notch defensive play right here that's going to end the inning. Now in the bottom half, David McKechnie, he leads things off. This ball takes a weird hop and no one's able to come up with it, so David ends up on base. Anderson at the plate now, and after a wild pitch, David ends up on second. Here he ends up advancing to third base. There's always good aggressive base running by the Marauders. And now on yet another wild pitch, David is going to score. It's now 8-4 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jackson up at the plate. Ooh, he gets nailed by the pitch. That's gotta hurt, but he is okay. And he takes his place at first base. Maddox at the plate. Watch this deep shot over the head of the outfielder. Anderson Carter comes across the plate to score, and Maddox picks up an RBI. The Marauders are starting to run away with this one. 9-4 is now the score. Harrison is now at the plate, but the ball gets past the catcher. Watch Jackson hustle from second base, even punctuating that with a great slide. Another runner is added to the base pass when Harrison picks up the walk. You see the pitch hit the umpire's face mask. He's okay, though, but that loads the bases. But, folks, that would be all she wrote. The game was called because of time. The Marauders pick up the win 9-4. They had the bases loaded when things were wrapped up. They up their record now to 4-0 as we approach the midpoint of the season.